Hi, I am Christine Clark with Sunglow Transformation. This is 5 Steps to Better Sex for Entrepreneurs, and this is Step 1, Video 1 of Step 1, Coming Clean. You know, the energy that's in our primary relationships is unique. It is probably the relationship where we have the highest level of investment, we have the highest attachment, the deepest caring. It's also where we are most vulnerable and where we have the greatest risk because we are putting ourselves out there personally, our heart's on the line, and the energy around it is just significantly different than in other relationships that we have. It's about a few things, and one is just the two hard truths. And the first hard truth is that you cannot control what anybody else does. So you can't control what the other person in your relationship does or does not do. Second hard truth is that you choose how you react, what you do in response to that other person. And that gets really, really muddy because those are real simple constructs that just kind of, when I say that, when people hear that, it's like, no, it's not, because we're always energetically connected and responsive, and we have our desires and our needs and our wants and our beliefs about how things should work, and it's all a money mess. And then, and then you throw in hormones and sex drive, and that's like the tantalizing chocolate syrup that's running through it all, just wreaking havoc with everything. So we're going to start with number one, what do you want? And what do you want for love? What do you want respect? What do you want from connection? What kind of freedom do you want? What kind of support do you want? And by talking about these things, then you can kind of get clear about what you want from the relationship. And there's a lot more in that piece that I'm going to address at a different time. I want to talk about just what's been present in my coaching over these last several weeks, because I've had the opportunity to work with people and ask them, what do you want? And what has come out of their mouth is, well, I want him to, or I want her to. I want them to do something, 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 or they need to do something, something, something. And if you've been in a relationship for a year, 5 years, 10 years, 35 years, there's going to be those pieces that are triggers for you. Things that you really wish, that I want the other person to not do that. And two things. One is that when that shows up, there is an unmet need, there is an unmet desire, there is a sense of inequity, there's something bigger there. So that's important to look at. And number two is, what do you make it mean? Goes back to A, you cannot control what someone else does or doesn't do, and B, you choose how you react and what you do in response to somebody else. So when I've heard this, what you want, and I want them to, when you're pointing the other finger, if that's showing up, back up, ask a question of yourself. What do I make it mean? What am I making it mean? So when they do X, Y, Z, or say la, 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 I make it mean. So just an example. When you don't kiss me on the way out the door, I make it mean that you don't care about me. Or when you don't kiss me when you go out the door, I make it mean that you have a lover. When you don't kiss me when you go out the door, I make it mean that I'm not attractive. Or when you don't kiss me as you go out the door, I make it mean that you're bored with our relationship. And there are probably hundreds of thousands of responses to that, what you make it mean. When you don't kiss me as you go out the door, I make it mean that you're stressed out and I should plan as a getaway. When you don't kiss me as you go out the door, I make it mean that you are so into me that if you kiss me as you go out the door, you would be late to work. So we all make things mean something. And 90%, maybe even 99% of the time, what we are interpreting, what we are making things mean, is not what the other person is intending. Maybe that your spouse, your significant other, didn't kiss you, didn't even know they didn't kiss you when they went out the door. It could be a thought that just... So then that brings you to the point of having conversations where you can make requests and ask for what you want and be clean with your language that when you do this, I make it mean this. So I would like you to kiss me when you go out the door. Or if that's going to distract you and make you late for work, just kiss me on the cheek. And that's a whole nother section that we'll get into, is the dynamics of the conversations. So step one is awareness. Step one is always awareness, because without being aware, you can't change anything. You have to be aware that there's something there first, then to make the choice to change. So what I want you to do is simply pay attention over the next several weeks, how you feel, how you react, how you respond. What are you making things mean within your relationship as you go through your day-to-dayness with this person who is the love of your life, the person that you've been with for a long time? What are you making things mean? Just be aware. Notice your interpretation. And then come clean by understanding that your interpretation affects the dynamic of the love relationship. So that's all for today. This is Christine Clark, 5 Steps to Better Sex for Entrepreneurs. Step 1, Video 1, Coming Clean. Talk with you later.